Hi everyone, hope you all. This is CoinsKid. Sorry about the audio on these videos. Okay, they're a bit low. Obviously, as you're aware, I'm on holiday, so I'm using a different microphone. I'm trying to get as close as I can, and obviously, I'm going to increase the audio gain. But hopefully, the message is getting through to some of you. So right now, this is Bitcoin. Obviously, you're fully aware these are projections. I'm just going to go through another thought experiment, just a little bit more thorough with this thought experiment with you. Try and predict a little bit of a bottom here for Bitcoin based off this. This particular tool is called the trend-based fib time right here. Okay, you can see that Bitcoin's had a lovely little pickup this morning, which is great, and that's just a reminder of how quickly things can reverse. Okay, so everyone can be really bearish, and all of a sudden Bitcoin flips a switch and it's bullish. Everyone can be really bullish, and Bitcoin flips a switch and it's bearish, and this is how quickly crypto can turn. Okay, this is why I say, always, if in doubt, zoom out and get a broader picture of the long-term projections of potentially where your projects are going. Okay, and these corrections are perfectly normal, the part of the cycle of crypto. There's an awful amount of sort of bearishness in the air at the moment, isn't there, with the stock market, with the Delta strain that's coming out as well, which everyone's fully aware of, and the impact that might have on the world economy, not just the US economy there. It is a bit of an anomaly, unfortunately, and this is exactly what happened last year with this Corona dump just here, when everything tanked and we had that big massive crash. But Bitcoin was bullish at that point, and that's why it picked up relatively well. And as you're fully aware, I've spoken to in a previous video, I personally believe that this is the bottom of that wave 2 pullback for Bitcoin. Okay, so it broke out there, it formed a bullish structure, okay, after this level of pullback and consolidation, which is exactly what we're going through right now. And at that point, it did bottom out for me, picked up, broke all levels of resistance, got through the EMAs, especially as you're fully aware, if you get through the 20 EMA on any time frame, you're in an uptrend basically. And at the moment, you can see you're in a downtrend there, consolidating, picking up steam, leveling out basically, starting to pick up, turned a corner, bullish. Continuation of the bull market right there after that wave 2 pullback, and that for me is the bottom just there, this particular wick just there. Okay, and then obviously away it goes, see you later alligator, and boom, Corona dump, unforeseeable black swan event. Now we may potentially have that again. No one can foresee that, so do sort of anticipate the fact that we could go through a very similar scenario. It would look bad, it would look catastrophic, but as long as Bitcoin did hold a key level of support and didn't lose the previous cycle high, or obviously this wave 1 high, would invalidate the structure of this Elliott wave theory. Okay, because at that point, if we did do something like that at that black swan event, and Bitcoin loses a key level of structure, it could actually turn into a multi-year bear market for Bitcoin, and not just a multi-year, probably a decade-long bear market for Bitcoin. This is a probability, and this channel is all about probabilities. Now, what I'm saying doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it's just something that is a potentially there, because the stock market could crash into oblivion. The Delta strain could be really, really strong, and it's sort of, we're not making any progress with it, so to speak. Do you get what I mean? So it's just something that's on the table. So at that point, if it did come, then obviously we'd take action, wouldn't we? And we'd hopefully be able to identify the fact that, personally, I think that Bitcoin is going through a very, very similar scenario to this, personally. Again, not financial advice, but I think we're coming down. I think we're falling under the 55 just there. We're losing it. It looks bad, but as long as we can hold key levels of structure, and not roll over anymore, basically, then yeah, we're looking great for continuation. And unfortunately, you do have these anomalies in the world. The black swan event, we could have a black swan event 2.0, Corona dump 2.0, if we don't get a hold of this Delta strain right now. But basically, for Bitcoin, I'm anticipating one last little dip. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I've got a couple of targets that I'm eyeballing. I'm going to show you these right now. Okay, obviously you're fully aware we're targeting the Gaussian 5-day channel, aren't we? This is not a bearish video. This is a thought experiment. Okay, and when I say about the V-shaped recovery and the black swan event too as well, that's a thought experiment. It doesn't mean, because I'm saying it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Okay, don't run for the hills or sell and go to the beach. It's not one of those sort of things. It's just a thought experiment for Bitcoin right now, that you do need to sort of pay attention to what's going on in the world, because if that Delta strain F's things up for everything, then yeah, we could be looking at another sort of capitulation event for not just crypto, stocks, everything. Could absolutely hit the floor here. So yeah, for Bitcoin, I'm scaring you now, aren't I? I don't mean to scare you, but I'm just saying, you can. It's in the wings. There was a reaction in the stock market, I think yesterday, to some news about the Delta variant, the strain having in the US there, and the stock market took a bit of a dive. So you just got to sort of pay attention to it a little bit, okay? So anyway, enough talking about the Delta strain, F that. So right now, for me, Bitcoin, you fell under the 55 and you potentially going to enter a level of consolidation. I am eyeballing one particular target, and you're fully aware of it. On the 5-day Gaussian channel right here, on the 5-day Gaussian channel just there, I am targeting a test of the bottom of the channel just there, because you can see that pretty much any time that you fall into the channel, you always, especially if you lose a medium line, you do usually come down to test the bottom of the channel. Whether or not it's the case, okay, this is also a possibility that we do enter a level of consolidation just there, going sideways chop, and the Gaussian channel just comes up to it, okay, because we have reclaimed 30k today, which is positive. It is positive that we've done that for Bitcoin, okay. There's a mass amount of resistance up above. There really is. There's more resistance up above than there is support below. It could fall through support. That's how easy it is to fall. But there's so much resistance above. So do keep that in mind as well. That potentially this bottom of the Gaussian channel is the retest and the low that we're looking for in this market. Okay, and I'm going to give you more of a sort of detailed, thorough look at this thought experiment that we went through the other day for Bitcoin on the, just here, on this trend-based fib time. Okay, so I'm going to be more specific to the day when this particular trend-based fib time could actually come into play. So I just had a quick look myself, and it's actually pretty cool actually. So what we're going to do is look at Bitcoin on the daily time frame just there, okay, because in my opinion this is the Bitcoin BTUSDT chart against Tether, okay. So that was the top, okay, of wave 1, and this was the bottom of wave 2 in my opinion. We picked up here and we're looking bullish above the EMAs, and obviously the Black Swan event, that the Corona dump, where everything went through a massive dump. And just there you can see that from this top just there, let's be a bit more specific, because the last time I did this I was using a weekly time frame, and then what you do, you go to your cycle high top, which is just here, just there for Bitcoin. Okay, let's zoom in a bit, make sure we get that on the absolute nose just there. So yeah, that's the cycle high, and then zoom in here and make sure that we get the correct bottom. Yeah, that's that wick just there, that's the bottom of the wave 2 pullback in my opinion. And then obviously the cycle high just there, move it just there, that's it. So yeah, so given that, using this little tool here, this trend based fib time should show us potentially where the bottom of wave 4 is, okay, using this Fibonacci extension just there of this golden ratio. So potentially, the 31st of July, which is roughly, just over a week away right there, that is potentially where the bottom is for Bitcoin. Now, if we do continue to hit this level of resistance, this is where you can see us falling into the apex of this larger falling wedge, which we're anticipating for Bitcoin, as you're fully aware. Now, obviously, as well, if we drop this in for the 5-day Gaussian channel, let's take a look at this. So this is where I think, by next week, and it is a thought experiment. It is a thought experiment. If we do continue to hit resistance and fail to break out of this level of resistance right here, of this red line, which is a larger falling wedge, which you're fully aware of, if we do continue to hit it as resistance and roll back, potentially look where the Gaussian channel is coming up to, okay, the bottom of the apex of the falling wedge. So this could be your bottom for Bitcoin on the 31st of July. It is a thought experiment. It's not financial advice. It's just something that I'm looking at and targeting, trying to find the bottom for you guys, okay. This is a potential target, and right now you can see that the Gaussian, I think yesterday it was at 27,100, and today it's crept up $33. So at the moment it's 27,133. And as you can see, like I've shown you in the previous history of the Gaussian, each time you lose a medium line, you do usually test the bottom channel. Okay, now whether that's a case of Bitcoin consolidating or project consolidating and it coming up to it and acting as support, that's another scenario. But right now I'm trying to tell you that if Bitcoin does roll over anymore, given the golden ratio as well of this trend-based fib time, look, this particular indicator just there, potentially this is lining up beautifully, isn't it? Okay, and you may not fall through this as support, and you may not come down to that 25k. I'm seeing so many technical analysis pointing to 23k, 24k. Even the moon is pointing to 24k. I thought that guy was bullish, but anyway, this is lining up beautifully, and if we hold this particular test, which I do anticipate to come, then this is a golden entry for Bitcoin. I'll give you the absolute perfect bottom. You know, it would be absolutely golden, wouldn't it, if we can find the absolute bottom in this market, because I do feel honestly that the bottom is relatively close. And obviously, as you're fully aware, I'll show you as well, there is a particular trend line. I don't think it's this chart, is it? No, there is a particular trend line that we're targeting on the RSI. I think it's this particular chart just there, yeah. So on the weekly time frame, let's tidy this up. So on the weekly time frame, we are targeting this trend line, okay? So, you know, it's not quite there yet. It doesn't mean it has to get there, but potentially, you know, if you had sort of a pick up here for Bitcoin over the next couple of days, which it's doing right now, you run into a level of resistance and you had one sort of more rollover, you came down to this trend line right here, okay? You can see that at that point the MACD would start to come under the histogram. Again, this is a lagging indicator like I've reminded you yesterday, okay? That would potentially come back down to this trend line, bounce. That would be your bottom of your Gaussian channel, holding up a support. It would be the bottom of the apex of the falling wedge. And then hopefully, you know, you see the upside there, and the bottom, the absolute bottom was pinpoint accuracy on the 31st of July 2021. That is when the bottom is for Bitcoin in this wave 2 correction. So wave 4 correction, I do apologize, before we get the upside to the wave 5. And obviously, you know, like I've said to you, if you don't want to, because yesterday peak bottoms get smelly fingers. It's very difficult to find the bottom, but I'm just trying to technically find a bottom for you, okay? Now, if you don't want to wait for a particular bottom and you want to wait for a confirmation of an uptrend, basically, and a reversal of this consolidation and this wave 4 pullback for Bitcoin, then just wait until we get back above the daily 20 EMA and obviously the 55 and form a bullish cross, okay, a buy and go to the beat signal from CoinsKid. Just wait for that signal, okay, just like down here, look, you've got a bearish cross, you've entered a downtrend, level of consolidation, coming back and holding key levels of support. Now, once you break back above these and backtest and hold a support, you'll create a massive bullish cross, which, as you can see on the daily time frame, when you create these, is golden. Okay, because you come up and you hold it as support continuation. It's a great entry point, in my opinion, to get involved, and it's a confirmation statement of a reversal of the downtrend that you're in at the moment for Bitcoin. So yeah, that's a little thought experiment. Again, not financial advice, and it would be golden if it actually comes off, you know. But I am seeing a lot of people saying there's not much support around here, and potentially we could just cascade and fall down to 25k and 20k. Yeah, it's a possibility. You're fully aware of that, you know. But I'm just trying to find the bottom of this correction for you, and hopefully, you know, the Gaussian and the fan-based, what's it called again? I always forget what it's called because someone put this on my radar. Trend-based fib time. If that drops in perfectly, wow, that we've found the absolute bottom there, haven't we? And that would be absolutely golden. So the 31st of July, you could be looking at Bitcoin bouncing off sort of 27k area, which is the Gaussian channel. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. I'll be back tomorrow with an update on Bitcoin. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. And thanks again for your support, everybody. Do check out the Twitter and the Telegram and obviously the Patreon as well. That's blowing up. We've got a team of technical analysis in there, you know, posting content round the clock, and we're getting really good reviews in there, so that's amazing. We're building such a good community in there as well. So yeah, CoinsKid community is blowing up. Cheers for your support, everyone. Take care. Bye bye.